If you want to create an IBM Robotic Process Automation job definition, you can go here, search for IBM, and then you can click on IBM Robotic Process Automation in order to get prompted with the UI of the plugin on the right here. We have just two tabs, and in general, let's see why this plugin is very important and how can be used. The plugin allows to execute software robots created on RPA Studio using IBMRPA, basically. In this case, in this example that I will show you, I will show you the execution of a robot triggered by the plugin, of course, that send an email, a very simple email as a test. In the connection tab, you need to specify the tenant ID. In this case, it is this one. The RPA user, in this case, this one. The RPA user password, which is the password associated to the account, so to the email in this case. The region, which is US1 in this case, and at this point you can also test the connection to see if we are able to reach RPA Studio. We are able to do that. Under the Action tab, we can specify the process name. That, of course, you can imagine that it is something that we can retrieve on RPA Studio, okay, because it is something that we have designed and created. There is the possibility also to search the entire list of processes available on RPA Studio with respect to the credentials that we have provided, and these are all the processes available, as we can see. We can also specify a substring of the name of the process, supposing that we don't remember it. Okay, in this case I can do search by searching email, because I don't remember the entire name, right? Okay, and here we have HWA send email. This is the name of the process that I want to execute. Very good. That's it for the search. The payload, of course, is the payload that we need to provide to the software robot that needs to execute. In this case, I will provide a JSON object composed by these two variables, because you can imagine that the process has been created like this, with these two exact names for the variables. One is email underscore 2, which is an array of emails, in this case just one, which is my HCL software email address, and the same for the email CC. So you can imagine that if everything goes fine, I will be able to receive an email to my HCL software account, both as true and both as CC. Let's see the last two parameters, which is the first one, every, which stands for a retry interval, you can imagine, where you can provide in the duration format or this simplified duration format, in this case 5 seconds, a retry interval every which we will check the status of the process, because you can imagine that at the beginning the robot will be scheduled, so created as new, then it will start processing, and at some time it will end in a final status, like success, for example. If the process is able to end successfully within the specified timeout, in this case 2 minutes, then the job, which is the job itself on HWA, will end in successful status. Otherwise it will end in abandon. So at this point, I think we can test it. And let's see what happens on the job log. I will go on the job log. Let's see. So the job started. Okay. Process HWA send email submitted with this ID. Okay. The status changed. The current status is new, because we have basically started the execution of the software robot. Then the status, as we can see, changed after a little bit to processing. You can imagine that the job is monitoring the status of the robot every 5 seconds, as I have specified from the UI. You have already probably listened also while listening to me. I already received the email. In fact, the job has finished its execution in success. We see that the final status was done, and we got this JSON object as a response with status done, no variables, and as output I have received the two variables that I have provided in input, email 2 and email CC. And so the final status is done, polling ended after half minute, more or less. We can see also the the output properties, we have email CC, email to with the email to, the final status which is done, the outputs that in this case is the JSON object containing both the email to and the email CC, and the result which is the entire JSON object that I have also shown on the job log. Of course, if I refresh here just to let you see, also the job is successful, of course. And finally, we can check the email that I've just received, which is this one in this case, with this particular subject and this particular body. Of course, this is something that it is designed with, on RPA Studio with respect to the software robot itself.